want a bad one. Made a meal today and ain't my last one.
Oh, I had to get back up. I had to get back up.
I can't take no off. You better call back up. I'm running it down to finish. I don't play, get down to get it. Talk about that, come slide, I'm with it. Better see me now, on God, I'm lit it. I know that you tryna go big. Better run up the cash, you love to spend. Made it, kill it, and did it again. But the intent, no, I'm down to win. I can't feel bad about it. I know you sad about it.
Know you sad about it. Know you sad about it.
I'm moving too fast, I can't stop. Wiping it down with the paint hot. Left hand on the wheel. I'm closing the top when the raindrop. I'm keeping the game in the headlock. When throw it, blinding my dreadlock. In the end zone with the mad dot. One phone call, get it dead stop. I feel like I own the season. Say one thing, just give me a reason. Know you're mad, I'm undefeated. Top dog, making it even.
Oh, I had to get back up. I had to get back up.
I can't take no off. You better call back up. I'm running it down to finish. I don't play, get down to get it. Talk about that, come slide, I'm with it. Better see me now, on God, I'm lit it. I know that you tryna go big. Better run up the cash, you love to spend. Made it, kill it, and did it again. But the intent, no, I'm down to win. I can't feel bad about it. I know you sad about it.
Know you sad about it. Know you sad about it.
Going big, going big. Everywhere I go, they know the click. Way too many wins, they know the shit. They was hating, know they sick, acting like they know me. Cause I'm going big, going big. Everywhere I go, they know the click. Way too many wins, they know the shit. They was hating, know they sick, acting like they know me. Cause I'm
P-P-P-Lo, time to bring the bass bird.
swear I'm going big like a lineman. She want bring the limes in. She wanna pull up to the crib, we can't dine in. Up right away, couldn't even get a vine in. Straight with the money we aligned in. Tell me how they broke, tryna chime in. Jesus watching over here in diamonds. He the only reason why I do not get violent. Ay, cause he gave me patience. Ay, swear that all makes sense. Ay, when you making bands, can make friends. Cause I know they tryna shit like Ray-Bans. Got a bad little shorty wasting. And I own it, I ain't gotta pay rent. Ay, I know we the ones that ain't them. Pull both hands together and I'm saying amen. Cause I'm going big, going big. Everywhere I go, they know the click. Way too many wins, they know the shit. They was hating, know they sick, acting like they know me. Cause I'm going big, going big. Everywhere I go, they know the click. Way too many wins, they know the shit. They was hating, know they sick, acting like they know me. Cause I'm going big, going bigger. Postmates, how I deliver. My game too cold, made it shiver. But I'm still a hot boy, cool it down, let it simmer. Hey, see him mad, got him bitter. Can't stop the shine with a dimmer. Only what I give her, and she let her call me baby, but I do not need a sitter. See me dip, yeah, I'm saucing. People at the bank see me often. Let the money run, it's a faucet. She gave me the that's a bosses. Took over the game, now we all in. I was down in the chips, then went all in. Throwing up the game, ain't no vomit. Make my mama stop working, that's the promise. Going big, going big. Everywhere I go, they know the click. Way too many wins, they know the shit. They was hating, know they sick, acting like they know me. Cause I'm going big, going big. Everywhere I go, they know the click. Way too many wins, they know the shit. They was hating, know they sick, acting like they know me. Cause I'm
P-P-P-Lo, time to bring the bass bird.
Like that. It's a lot of money. Why are you mad like that? Ooh, I'm in my new bag, my bad. You ain't get too bad, my bad. Yeah. First of the month, I'ma run it back. Ay. Same day, why I'ma run it back. Friday, payday, run it back. Ay. Run it back, run it back, run it back. 48 yards, I run it back. Ay. I cop a car, I run it back. Go your then run it back. Run it back, run it back, run it back. Hello, that's the jag calling. Let me click over real quick to let my jag talk it. I eat it, ooh, Pac-Man. That's the way my neck talking. Right, I ain't never coming back. The way the stress. You don't make no clap back when you backpack my bad, but I'm past that. But a NASDAQ, that's cash. When the money fall, I'ma slap that. Clap when the money go, you don't slap. That's facts. If the money low, I'ma grab brown man. When it come back, I'ma give back my bad. When the check hit, the direct hit. I'm glad when the check missed the direct hit. I'm sad like who's that knocking at my window? My window. They say that it's the money. I'm like tenfold. Over and out. That's gon' make you up like a limbo. She said she not a. She an. Ay. Why you do that like that? Like that? It's a lot of money. Why are you mad like that? Like that? Ooh, I'm in my new bag. My bad. You ain't getting too bad. My bad. Yeah. First of the month, I'ma run it back. Ay. Same day, why I'ma run it back. Friday, payday, run it back. Ay. Run it back, run it back, run it back. 48 yards, I run it back. Ay. I cop a car, I run it back. Go your then run it back. Run it back, run it back, run it back.
Yeah, in the field like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, yeah, whole squad like, what? In the field like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, what? Whole squad like, yeah, in the field like, yeah, all day like, yeah, in the field like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, yeah. You don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. Yeah, you don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. Yeah, you don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. No, I said you don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog. You don't want. Yeah, call us dangerous. Ain't too many can play with us. See where this game here taking us. No barber, ain't no fading us. I ain't really saying much. Actions be louder than words, man. I just wanna be heard from your mom to your pop to the beat to the birds, man. Cut right off on the curb, like I'm Barry Sanders. Chains on and the diamonds dancing. Game on, so it's time to go. When the rain starts, I'ma let you know. Name a squad that is better though than my whole team. We a pot of gold. I'm a dog. I'ma need a bone for my whole team. I'ma let it go like.
Well, Coach, we've had a driving rainstorm make its way through the plains, and it definitely is going to be a factor here this afternoon.
And New Orleans, Big Snoop Dogg got a Madden league. His team is off the hook and you don't really want none, but if you do, come and get some. See, tell your mama and tell your daddy and tell the whole damn world this is Madden territory. Tell your mama and tell your daddy and tell the whole damn world this is Madden territory. Come get some if you want some, but you ain't bad enough, so you can't take none. I'm Big Snoop Dogg and I'm the only one, and when it comes to Madden, all y'all fools my sons. Haha, bag up off me and watch you lose. Snoop Dogg is on the mic, I'm giving Madden blues. And if you choose to run up on me, you gon' get laid out so fast, cause I can get you with the run or I can hit you with the pass. I can't be touched and I can't be schemed. Roll you when I'm in a mud league. 2-0, Madden time on you suckers. Y'all can't get close, so why you wanna touch us? Cause my team is so hard, my team is legit. Madden 20, Snoop Dogg is, I get it. I got cleats on my feet, jersey on my back, helmet on my head, ready to attack like that. Down in Mississippi and New Orleans, Big Snoop Dogg got a Madden league. His team is off the hook and you don't really want none, but if you do, come and get some. See, tell your mama and tell your daddy and tell the whole damn world this is Madden territory. Tell your mama my sons. Bag of bulk me and watch you lose. Snoop Dogg is on the mic, I'm giving Madden blues. And if you choose to run up on me, you gon' get laid out so fast, cause I can get you with the run or I can hit you with...
Well, Coach, we've had a driving rainstorm make its way through the plains, and it definitely is going to be a factor here this afternoon at Empower Field at Mile High in Denver. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Carolina Panthers and the Denver Broncos.
Keep playing.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. On the ground, this is Leonard Fournette. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's 2nd down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
First down, Carolina.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. And he's got the hook up to Moore. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. The catch and run there, good for 16 and a first. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage.
When you try to create space for your running back, the first thought is how physical is the offensive line. Sometimes it's just positioning. On that play, it didn't matter about positioning or being physical. The defensive front, they out-leveraged them and won the battle.
Let's go, D. Big series right here. We got to step.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Oh, ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off by Jerome Baker. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Time will tell if that's an interception that rattles the rookie here. First drive on the road.
And you know the discussion going into the game? Centered on, okay, let's get out nice and easy, take care of the football, we're on the road, you're a youngster, let's not make mistakes early. But now the conversation will shift to, okay, put it behind you, move on, long way to go in this one.
Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 22-yard line.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he will fight his way forward to about the 23-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case. That play got bottled up.
At their own 17-yard line.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the number 1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're number 1 in their conference.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. 23 yards the pickup there.
a gain of 23 yards. And the Panther first down.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Got his man, Robbie Anderson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 11 yards and a Panther first down.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? It's a gain of 7, and it'll make it second down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
4 yards the pickup, first down. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Second and 1. This is caught. And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. Call that a very strong gain of 24. Catch number 100 for his career right there, and it's good enough to keep the chains moving. They'll try to punch it in with Fournette. And he is in. Touchdown, Carolina. Leonard Fournette, his 17th touchdown now on the season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good, and it's now a 7-0 game. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, wasn't it?
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 44. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
That's good for 21 yards and a first down. Well, this is the reigning NFC Offensive Player of the Week. Runs like that might get him another award.
Yeah, Thunderbolt right out of the gate, huh? How about that, hitting the defense hard early? And, of course, carrying the momentum from last week into this week's game.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. There is no denying they want to get him involved. That's already the 5th time that they've looked his way in this first quarter.
So that tells me defensively that they want to insist on going in that direction. Make sure you've got your best people in the area to try and take that away.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. Now Leonard Fournette. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Open man is Robbie Anderson. And he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. Robbie Anderson, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Panthers, they widen their lead. Extra point try good by Gano. And it's now 14-0. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Throwing now is Locke. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Dante Jackson picks it. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he will bring this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Panther touchdown.
Partner, what we just saw, that's a great example of a team that was really amped up. They've been playing so well, yet they didn't get overexcited and have a bust on defense and gave up a big play. Instead, they created their own big play with a pick 6. This one may be over.
Yeah, it's just the first half, but that lead has swelled to the point where you're wondering if it is over already. This fielded a few yards into the end zone.
The Broncos take over first and 10. Let's go. At their own 25-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. On 2nd down, here's Locke. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Dante Jackson picks it.
And that's now the 2nd time he's picked off a pass here in the first half alone. Again, another great read defensively, and you just see him get in the right position to make the play and get his guys the football back.
Fournette, a first down carry. And he's able to carve out about 6 there, down to the 37.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
The throw over the middle taken in. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
This quarterback now hitting on 80% of his passes in the early going. 8 of 10. It's first down. Fournette. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
It's now 2nd and 6.
2nd and 6. This is caught. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. 13 yards on his first catch. It's a first down as well.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And he takes it into the end zone for a Panthers touchdown. Leonard Fournette, his 2nd TD of the game and 18th of the year. And the Panthers, they widen their lead. Gano the extra point, and the route is on here in this first half. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And to no one's surprise here in Denver, that'll carry through the back of the end zone for a touchback.
On the
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time, first half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it. Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Ready. Mike 57. Hey, keep it up. Keep it up. Let's go.
Throwing his lock on third down. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
The Broncos send out their punter now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. He gets us away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad.
At their own 15-yard line.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain.
First down, Panthers.
Here we go. Set. 70 ending. You're not ready. You're not ready.
They'll drop the throw. That's going to be caught by Samuel. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we're talking about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do, because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do, because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards him.
So a good run by Fournette. Now another 1st and 10.
Coming to you. Coming to you.
Now back to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The DN, Jonathan Allen, making sure his presence is felt.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things has gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. They'll set up a throw. Steps away to his left. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for third.
A 7-yard gain on the play. And it's third down.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. They'll look to throw here. Open man is Samuel, complete. They get only 4 that time, as that leads us to a 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield.
Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I feel very confident about this kick, but let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness. Maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
Now a nice throw here, right side. He hauls it in. And all the way home for a Broncos score. A big play there. His 11th touchdown of the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. McManus's point after is good, and it's now a 28-7 ball game. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And the last time that they were on the field, a little demoralizing. Missed field goal. You always feel like you want to get it in the end zone, but then, oh, well, at least we're going to get 3. Didn't go through the goalpost, so.
It does test the mental processes of the team, though, doesn't it? Because when you miss a field goal, it's amazing how fast they want to turn on the guy kicking the ball. But you need to keep his confidence up because how many times have we seen games where it comes down to the stretch? And guess what? You need that guy to make the big kick for your team to move on or to win a game. Make sure you keep him happy. Make sure you keep him comfortable.
I'm sure you always treated the kicker nicely, though, right?
You know, truthfully, I did.
Good.
I always did because those guys, they won us a whole lot of games.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete. This secondary has been roasted in this first half, but they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back, but that's one step in the proper direction.
And Fournette trying to power his way forward, but I don't think he got there. Nothing doing on second and third down after that 9-yard gain on first. And he gets it away, and it's a laser headed for the sidelines. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You could never have enough.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Brian Burns make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Now Locke. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And it's knocked away and incomplete. That was Dante Jackson, the one who got a hand in to knock it away.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put...
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off near the 44. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line.
You're trailing. You're trying to get points late in half. I absolutely understand that. But remember, it's all about the ball. And without the ball, you can't get those points. They just turned it over.
Now you got to be careful because that deficit can get a little bigger on the other side with that good field position they just took over with. Justin Simmons up from his safety spot to make the tackle. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's 2nd and 8. He's going to look deep for Moore. Trying to fit it into Moore, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Simmons. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Well, what's the plan of attack here? Very late second quarter, and look where the ball is.
Yeah, bad spot for you. But the defense has all 3 timeouts. So what you're telling your team is ball security number 1. It's not all on the running backs if you decide to run the football. That offensive line has got to protect them and wedge out some space because you can't just kneel. They take 3 timeouts. They're going to get the ball back in good field position with a chance to put points on the board. You've got to try and get a first down and run out this first half.
And he'll push forward here for a good little run as the clock continues to run. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. They'll keep it on the ground. Vaughn. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down. So from second and long, now we go to third and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in four-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. And he'll take this forward only up to about the 7. The big man, Jarrell Casey, in on the stop.
That first down play, all you want to do is wedge out any type of space and try and create enough room. If you have to run the punter out there, he can successfully complete the punt.
Yeah, didn't get a ton there, but at least some positive yardage. Just a couple on the ground there. That's going to bring up third and about 6. Back to throw. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's fourth down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Come on, let's go! At their own 23-yard line.
On the ready.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
so well. Go to something else.
And maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
On 2nd and 12, Locke. Stepping up, he'll try and run. And give him 10 that time as he was able to get away from the pressure and get a nice gain.
Well, it looked like a quick hitter, a 3-step drop, but when it's not there, what do? He elects to try and escape through the massive bodies up the middle, and he does so and picks up positive yardage.
And now here is another interception. Picked off at the 36, and he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now, that's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win it.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The 305-pound defensive end, Jarrell Casey, gets the sack. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21.
Check my 40. Check my 40. Too little,
He'll look to throw. He's going to look deep down the field. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 11. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27. Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ball game.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, and became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning. Threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record. How'd things turn out for him?
I think okay. He's a guy in all the commercials now, right?
Yeah, I think he's doing okay.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, here's Locke. Man open, he's got it complete to Cortland Sutton. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. On play action, Locke. Got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
The free safety roaming all the way up to the line of scrimmage to make that stop.
How about his ability to trust his eyes and figure out it was not a pass play and go fast towards the line of scrimmage in order to make that tackle.
Locke to throw for it on 4th. And this is incomplete. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And this defense will take over right at midfield. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. This is Fournette. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They'll run it again with Fournette. And he's got it across midfield and into Denver territory. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. They'll look to throw. Going for the deep ball. It got his man complete. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. DJ Moore. His 21st touchdown of the season. And the Panthers, they widen their lead. Extra point try good by Gano. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Ready, set.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off right around the 43. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line. What a nightmarish game he's having now. 6 interceptions that he has thrown.
Absolutely unbelievable, isn't it? Hard to believe we're watching this and have seen it, but it just tells you about the game of football. It giveth and it taketh away.
Yeah, the guys, though, that have thrown 6 interceptions in the game, the likes of Peyton Manning, Brett Favre, I think Joe Namath, he did it 3 times. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 14 yards, good for a Panther 1st down. He's having a big game through the air, and sometimes those smart decisions just dump it off. That's how you continue to have big games through the air.
I agree totally. That's a great analogy, great way to put it, because he doesn't get too greedy where everything has to be pushed downfield, trying to create big plays that aren't there. You dump it off and take that nice gain, and things add up, and now you have the kind of game he's having.
And And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a third down. In their mind, certainly a field goal try would be a letdown. They had the great starting field position, now facing third down. And that will be caught by Moore. He's got a Panthers touchdown. DJ Moore, touchdown number 22 on the season. And the Panthers use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Gano for the extra point. And the lead grows even.
42, Broncos 7.
Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field ready to start their next drive. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to this offense. And now here is another interception. Picked off near the 34. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line. The lone second remains now in this third quarter. Now Fournette. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. Welcome back now to Denver. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. They keep it with Fournette on first down. And he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. A 12-yard touchdown run. And the Panthers use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the fourth quarter.
At their own 16-yard line.
Let's go.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens.
70, Indy. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Let's go.
And they will take a knee here.
A loss of a yard. It's now third.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long.
Now.
And they take a knee.
On the keeper. A loss of a yard.
The Broncos send out their punter now, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. And he gets this away, angled for the sideline with a lot behind it. Wow. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds.
At their own 27-yard line.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones. And it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it #1 for what we've seen this season.
On 3rd down, Fournette. And a pretty nice tackle there, ranging up from his free safety spot as he'll stop him about a yard short. And he gets a good chunk of yards there, 8 all told, but they're still looking at a 4th down. Here's Michael Pilardi now as he's on to punt for Carolina. He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll run with a former Badger. It's Corey Clement. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll stay on the ground with Clement, and they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
Ready. 60 yards. Tight end's right. Watch tight end. Even. Go.
From the gun on 3rd down, Locke. And that's complete. It's Green here. And he'll get this only to about the 38 as they stop him a few yards shy of the line to gain. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
They'll try and run for it with Fournette. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game against them, but tally that one on the side of the defense.
Do you think maybe, possibly, it can be a little bit of a changer for them? Maybe not a game changer, but a little bit of a momentum one that maybe they can string together some pretty good plays and slow them down.
Very good return that time. 18 yards. And control of the football, switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest. On 1st down, Locke. He's going to let it fly. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at the 24. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming